Hello and welcome to the Unstable Narrators podcast. They forgot to add an intro, so you'll hear more from me at the very end. Anyway, enjoy their breakdown of The Fourth Wing, Chapter 1.
Okay, I think I can somewhat summarize chapter 1.
Okay.
Because chapter 1 starts with Violet going into her mother's office, kind of trying to not go to the Writers Academy, Writer Wing, because she wants to be a scribe like her dad. They kind of get into a heated argument with Mira, who walks in and is trying to tell her mom, look, it's not for her. Don't send her. Why are you doing this?
And then it really goes on the conversation with her mom and Mira, because Mira was already like, she can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Well, I actually want to interrupt
She's too weak,
already.
bitch.
That's fine, because I had some thoughts on that as well.
Violet never says that she doesn't want to go.
She strongly, it's not that she says it, but more so that she is not.
It's the introvert's way, I really don't want to do it, but I can't say no. Because
Well, she's
already accepted her fate, really.
She talks a lot about how she's not going to be good at it. She's going to die. And she talks about how much she's trained to be a scribe and how she's good at that. But she never says anything about not wanting to be a writer.
I don't think it's that it's outright. I think it's more that what's implied is she doesn't want to because she's been trained as a scribe.
Yeah, you gotta read into the book with this one because, she doesn't outright say that she's ill. She leads up to it, she hints to it, and she talks about she's been training for 6 months and she still can't even go up a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
So, stuff like that.
Implications.
It's implications that you gotta read into.
Yeah.
It was obvious that she, honestly, to me, it felt like she knew that she was gonna die. So, she was gonna do her best, but she didn't think that she'd even make it past conscription day. Conscription day.
Yeah.
Right.
She had accepted death.
She accepted that. And then, I feel like, despite the conversation Mira was having with her mom, I feel like at the end of it, Mira was the one that gave her, the hope that she could actually do it. And it wasn't, with words, not like her mom, I think she can do it. It was here is what you can do. This is what you can wear. You shouldn't be wearing these shoes. You need to put your hair back or cut it off.
Yeah,
but
I gave
if not gonna cut it off, put it back so you can't be grabbed. Stuff like that. Stuff that's she can tangibly hold on to and be like, yeah, this will help me and this will help me. And then it's I can actually do it now because I have this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
From what I've written here.
That makes sense.
I think her sister was a really good kind of shoulder to help her understand you're quick, you're agile, you can do all these things, you just need the right stuff to do it.
You need the tools for it.
And I think that's really what set her kind of in that mindset of, okay, well, maybe I actually can.
Yeah.
Now, back to when they were talking to their mom. Now, my thought process was, okay, the mom is pushing really hard for this. She kind of knows that her daughter's been training to be a scribe like her dad.
Mm-hmm.
But my question because she was I don't want to say demeaning, but it was harsher towards Violet than I think it would have been for Mira.
You can say it. It's demeaning.
I just wanted to make sure.
This is a fictional character. We don't have to pull punches.
My thought was, does Violet's mom think highly of her in a secret aspect? Does she think that she can really do it?
She does.
But she's acting kind of cold,
she's putting up a front
Yeah.
when it comes to her kids. It used to be that she used to be a huge sophie. That was, before her brother died. That was before her dad died.
Right.
She was this hard-ass when it came to the soldiers, but, her family isn't soldiers. But then after they die, I think something snapped in her.
Yeah.
I think it's a trauma response.
And it could be.
I think she's not wanting to grieve another child's death, so if she pushes away it enough, she can just think of the child as a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Cannon fodder for this stupid ass war, which I don't think she wants.
Right.
I will say, I don't necessarily think... I think that the mom situation's always been complicated, for sure. I think she's definitely takes on a more traditionally masculine role in her marriage.
Which, I mean...
I can see that.
Traditionally good for her.
Yeah, which is fair.
Good
And
for her.
So I never got the vibe that she used to be a softie. I think that she used to be,
Well,
like,
she
it
says
does say,
somewhere.
I never got softie. I got that things were different before Dad died.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I
Like-
have something here.
What does it say? It says somewhere.
In regards to like the masculine role, I definitely think that just from like what her quadrant is, because she is the writers, which is more of the like hard masculine, whereas the scribes are kind of more as the reserved, in some senses, like traditionally feminine way. So I can see how the roles would be kind of reversed there on the mom and dad.
Do you guys think that maybe she's pushing Violet to be a writer so hard so that she has easier access? Because, I mean, other than, like,
Easier access to
her kid. You know, because for the first year, obviously, they're not going to have access to their own child.
That's true. Their paths would not cross a lot if Violet was a scribe.
They wouldn't cross as much as they would if she was a writer.
Although being a writer is much more dangerous.
That's
Yeah,
that
she
was
would-
my thought.
which is-
was like if you're pushing them to be a writer, it's kind of pushing them into more dangerous situations. While I understand, she would be able to like kind of keep an eye on her more, like see her more. The scribe is
It
like
would've been
it would have
safer.
been safer for her if she
Yeah.
was really super worried about her daughter.
Yeah.
But this also gives me some ideas for a theory, but I'm going to
That's
hold
true.
off on my theories.
Well, I mean,
until
so-
later.
So when we start the chapter, we find out a lot. Like Violet has glass bones and paper skin. She
wakes up with a heart attack every
like
day.
yeah. Like,
She goes to sleep having a stroke.
like it says that she's
Only to
trained.
relive the cycle.
Hold on. She says that I just want to point to this sentence real quick. Also, I pointed at this and I wrote, "That's so Wattpad." So it says, "I tighten the straps of my heavy canvas rucksack and trudge up the wide staircase of the stone fortress I call home."
Same energy as I throw my messy brown hair up into a
It's
bun
the
and I
same.
walk down
It
the
is the
stairs
same.
to see my mom selling me this One Direction for a pack of cigarettes.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I rolled my eyes so hard when I read that sentence. I was like, okay,
I'm
girl.
not gonna lie, I started it and I was like, "Oh, we're already starting
No,
off
same.
like this."
Same. I was like, oh no.
I was
But
like,
then
what am I getting into?
Then she says, "My chest heaves with exertion, my lungs burning by the time I reach the stone corridor leading to General Sorrengail's office." Which, pause, she refers to General Sorrengail as General Sorrengail, not my mom.
Yeah.
Mother.
We're recording, Chase.
I need phone battery.
Beth's hair.
You need to get a charger.
I need to sneeze. Holy shit.
So anyway,
I need a phone that works.
True.
Well, you should be better with your money.
the great thing is Ashton could cut this and move on.
so then,
Stop.
how did you do
I
that?
don't know, 'cause I
Anyway,
can cut it.
Then she says, "My chest heaves." So she says, "My chest heaves with exertion after climbing the stairs. This is what 6 months of intense physical training has given me. The ability to barely climb 6 flights of stairs with a 30-pound pack. I'm so fucked."
Honestly, same. PE had me like that.
And I
Fitness
wrote,
gram Pacers test.
to which I wrote, "She's not in shape, ... but how? Does she just suck?" Like, because that's like,
Yeah,
that's bad.
I really thought really early on, I was like, why would they make a main character so weak? And then I really thought about it, I was like, well, there's a lot of room for
There's a lot of room
development.
for-
which
There is a
actually
lot of room for
really
development.
smart.
Which is true. And it reminds me of Triss Pryor from Divergent.
Correct. Yes, because
Honestly,
she was...
She also had
Very
glass
weak.
bones and paper skin.
I was honestly more so thinking Katniss in an odd way, because when she starts out, she's got no meat on her bones.
No, but
because
Katniss is always
Katniss
she's
kind of had
strong.
that fighter spirit.
Okay, but so does
and
Violet.
she's skilled with a weapon.
Yes.
And Violet's skilled with a weapon, that's true.
I've been making a lot of comparisons between
Well,
Violet
hold on.
and Katniss,
We're
just because of the
getting
world building. as
Ahead of
well.
ourselves with the weapon worlding. With this.
Oh,
Weapon
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Like,
so
we haven't gotten there yet.
she's only been training to become a writer for 6 months.
Yeah, a writer for 6
Yeah,
months.
compared to people who have been doing it like their
Their
entire,
entire lives. So she she's like very aware that she's probably gonna die. Mira is also very aware that she's probably going to
Yeah.
die, which is why she gets in a fight with the mom. And then the mom is very cold about everything. The mom also refers to Mira as Lieutenant Sorrengail.
Yeah.
They
It's gotta be
use
like a
titles.
military
They've
family
got
that
it's
they're
definitely a
it's
military family
title-based.
thing.
Yeah.
My uncle's family is a military family. On my dad's side, those kids call him sir.
But do they call him
Not by his military name.
not
Just,
like by
Not
his
my
military?
military, but they're
Yeah.
also not talking like they're kind of talking about family, but it's also somehow a work discussion.
Yeah.
So I think they're just in work mode at the moment, but they're fueled by their family feelings.
yeah.
So it's
That's
hard to
interesting.
differentiate that line.
Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting family dynamic, especially with the loss of
Well,
the dad.
What
and
family
then
dynamic?
the loss of the dad, and then having the older sister who's kind of almost like this awe-inspiring golden child,
Yeah.
and then you have Violet, who's
And the
that's
brother
because
who
the real
died
golden child's dead.
Yeah, and the brother who died. So it is interesting that even though
So
she
many
had a
thoughts about this
child
one.
die,
she pushes her other one to
to do it
yeah.
so
I thought that too. I
Yeah.
thought that was weird. I was like, is it a pride thing to have everyone in your family as a writer and not
A scribe.
a
Yeah.
scribe? Is it,
I think it might just boil down to General Sorrengail's values.
or are you
And-
trying to like make up for your kid that died? You see him
I also
Yeah,
maybe
think
as a little bit of a
she-
failure, and you're wanting to not have.
I don't know though, because he died a hero.
He
died a
died.
hero.
I understand that part, but it's like dying a hero and like your mom having expectations for you,
Mm-hmm.
or like you weren't really like she didn't expect you like to die there. You weren't supposed to die there. You were supposed to make it back because you're just that good at it. And then
It's a
that
failure
happening,
in itself.
it's like a kind of like a failure aspect to it. So
I
maybe
could
she's
see
trying to
that.
push for like I want
It could also
I could
be
see
perfection
that.
from the military side of things.
Yeah,
could also be she doesn't want a reminder of her husband.
Yeah, that
that
too.
is true because she is a lot like her dad. She was very
Very-
close
yeah.
to her
Correct,
dad.
right.
She like
It's mentioned
here.
in there that they spent
I mean,
a lot of
her
time.
mom even points it out.
A
that
lot
she's
of
so much like her
time
dad.
together in the library is, I believe, what it was saying. Which is why she has such pale skin, is because she spent all of her time in the library
Inside, she's not out
with
getting
her dad before
Yeah.
he
valuable
died.
nutrients from
Which
the sun.
he
Yeah.
died of heart complications. What
That's-
kind of death is that?
I
No,
think
he
it was
died of
just-
a broken heart. He had broken heart syndrome because the brother died,
and it killed
then
him.
he died.
That was so sad.
It
I
is
get
so
sad
sad.
when I hear stuff like that, but then again, I'm also like, that's kind of like,
It happens in real life.
I know it does,
Yeah.
but it's just like, I don't want to say it was too easy to have him
It
die
was-
off that way. It
I
was
think
kind
it
of
was
like
a write-off.
Yeah.
I think she
Kind
was
of
trying
was.
to find a way to link
The-
it to Brennan,
well,
but
yeah.
also make it sad.
I think it's also magnifying the role that her brother's
had,
death
yeah,
and like the toll it took on the family.
I think it's a lot of lead up to surround Brennan's circumstances because I have so
I think
many
that's true.
things to say about Brennan.
Face the mic.
We are.
Oh,
think
we're
we're
totally
doing-
facing the mic.
Yeah, no, you're
Tori's loud enough that it'll pick up. It'll be okay.
not. I know it sounds better if you face the mic.
Okay, I'm gonna face my.
If not,
microphone.
what it mostly picks up is the echo from
Oh.
your voice.
Okay, and I'm gonna face the
Yeah.
mic more.
I'm
So,
sitting in that angle to where it's like,
Same.
but here's an interesting timeline problem, which is the brother died.
right.
The dad died shortly after. The dad died a year ago, a little over a year before conscription day, and Violet's only been training for 6 months.
Right. It's almost like I
don't
the
think she was
dad
consulting
died.
her timeline enough when she was writing this.
and then they were like, okay,
Maybe, yeah.
shove Violet, since he's no longer with us, into writer training,
Yeah.
so she can't be like her dad.
Yeah.
Maybe
Although
it's also a grief thing.
I
Maybe
don't
she's not really
think-
processing time right.
I don't think it's a timeline thing though, because those dates are given to us in 2.5 pages.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's like she doesn't want Violet to become as soft as her dad in regards to like, oh, say Mira dies and then she dies right after because of the broken heart. So maybe it's kind of like a trying to toughen her up so like she doesn't lose her in a certain aspect, like she lost the dad after her brother died.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it could be like something like that.
Yeah, it could be. I could see that.
Yeah.
like, trying to compensate for it.
Yeah.
Especially since Violet identified more with the dad.
Correct, right.
So she's like, okay, you could be weak like your dad, so let's make you not.
Yeah.
Or maybe the dad's not there anymore to protect her.
Right.
From being conscripted into the writers thing.
Correct, right.
I think we're focusing too much on the dad.
That's fair.
I don't know. I feel like the dad is huge.
No,
I think he
the
plays
brother
a lot.
is huge.
I
I think
think he
the
plays a
dad's
lot
death
in the
is fodder
character.
for the brother's thing.
I do think the brother thing is huge too. But I will say the dad did die in vague circumstances.
I think it really shows that her personality is going to be a lot more like her dad's, which is why it's a little bit more significant than I think the brother.
And I also kind of think that's part of the reason why her mom wanted her to be a writer. Because she wants her dad's, like, she wants her husband's mind as a soldier. Because, I mean, this was a pretty sharp man. He was a professor.
Right.
He was. Yeah.
And, you know, Mira's been groomed to be a scribe because of her health.
Not Mira, Violet.
Not Mira,
Violet.
sorry, Violet. I think Violet was groomed to be a scribe, and because of that, she's also got that same line of intelligent thinking that can be really useful as a soldier.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what her mom wants, is more smart minds, while also having that in, like, the military aspect, not just as some, you know, body in the library.
That's
Could be.
true. That is true. All right, so she fights with her mom a little bit, but it's not really about it's, to me, it didn't read like it was about being one of the writers versus not, because she seemed like she never argues about that. But the thing that makes her mad is when her mom...
It's the weak. It's
the
them
weak.
calling her weak.
It's
is
the
what
weak,
I think
or like
makes her really upset.
or calling the dad weak,
Yeah.
or belittling the scribe part of herself.
Because it's so ingrained in her body.
Yeah.
It's ingrained in her identity, I should
Right.
say.
So I feel like she's really kind of, like, she blames it on her mom a little bit, but I think it's more about she really has something to prove.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, because they say multiple times, like, she can go anywhere when she keeps going there. And she keeps throwing it back on her mom, like, later in the book, but really, like, she could have chosen to be a scribe at any point.
Right.
Multiple points. And she
says
doesn't.
it. Well, she's also chalking up the excuse, like, her mom's just going to drag her back anyways. Why
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
Why
It's kind
even
of like
attempt to
something
leave?
that she can hold
That's
on
fair.
to not, like, go through with it. Because I think deep down she knows that she wants to prove herself, and in order to do that, she has to go through with it. So it's kind of like an excuse to, like, not be pulled away from it, is to, like, say, oh, well, I'm just going to be pulled back anyways. Well, I'll just stay and do my best, because she wants to prove to herself, I can do it. Like, I'm just as... I think the really big thing with her is she doesn't want to be classified as weak. It's occurring throughout the book.
Yeah.
As far as we've gotten, it's always, that's weak, I don't want to be weak, you know, I'm not weak. I think it's just kind of like her trying to prove to herself, like, she's not what everyone says she is, which is really good character.
Yeah, I think it's all just an entire part of, like, the disability aspect.
Yeah.
Right.
It's clear that she's disabled, but she doesn't want that label.
She is disabled, and she gets really mad when people call her that.
Yeah.
Or just unhealthy. I remember she viscerally hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Which, I mean, yeah, you call me unhealthy, fuck you, bro. That's what this entire thing is. It's just a giant middle finger to her haters.
And then, like, you know, after all of the talk with her mom, her and Mira go off, right? Mira kind of sees what she's packed and says, you know, you can't really carry that. We need to get rid of some things, put some things that you're actually going to need in the bag. Kind of reorganizes everything. There's the one book that she uses, I believe, later on in regards to what her dad gave her. She's like, I have to have this book. This is the one thing I need.
That's
So,
her, like,
that's her,
where
like,
she's putting her foot down.
Yeah. So Mira helps her pack her bag, kind of gives her tips, says you're going to need new boots, which end up really helping her.
Saving her life, really.
Yeah.
She was cooked if she didn't have those.
Braiding her signature.
She would have been
head
saying
braid.
hi to Dylan way sooner than she thought
And
she
then
would.
they kind of start going to the beginning of everything.
Yeah, that's where they really dive in.
Yeah.
Which the vibe switch from before the conscription till after is crazy.
Very interesting,
Yeah, and it changes, honestly,
because
that
before
whole
it was
experience.
very, like, cutthroat, like, you either make it up this hill or, like, this,
You make it up that hill or you die.
or you die. Like, that's it. There's no way around it.
And we're gonna keep a list.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think we needed to get off of the really first part of it and continue on. because we're
Definitely.
still stuck
We could
on it.
definitely move on. I just want to point out
So I was
that
trying to ease us
Yes,
into the next part.
that is true. I just want to point out one thing that the mom says to Violet. She said, she says it to Mira about Violet. She says, Mira, Violet deals with more pain before lunch than you do in an entire week. If any of my children is capable of surviving the Rider's Quadrant, it's her.
The one and only compliment we ever hear this woman call her.
This is true.
With her.
But that's what I mean. Like, she secretly has that really
That belief that she can do
that her daughter is going to be the best one out of all of them.
Right.
Like, it's,
she does.
It's like that cold front, warm inner that knows her daughter is like, she can do it.
And it's a foreshadowing from a highly respectable woman,
Correct.
highly accomplished military.
Right.
Like,
she's
there's fear
a
around
general.
her name.
Yeah.
She's a general. She's very smart, well respected, has a very successful career, and she has identified that Violet is going to be the best
Right.
out of all of them. So on that note, we can move forward. Let's go to
We could probably get to where they're actually there in line to say her name before she starts climbing.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's a big jump. Wait,
Well, so we kind
Not
of
really.
not really. We
She's really
you
wordy.
backtracked a little bit.
okay.
We were already on where Mira was helping her pack, and what she stopped with her foot on the one book that her dad gave her. That she's like, I cannot leave this behind. If you're gonna throw every book away, that's fine. Just let me have this
Right.
one. After that, it kind of it's them talking on their way to where it starts.
That's true.
So
Okay.
while it's wordy in there, it's not really wordy long as to what happened.
Like, you gotta think of this in real time. Like
that's
that would be a conversation we would
that's
have
a
from here to
30-minute.
the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At most, that's a 30-minute combo.
Yeah.
Because it states in there that it's literally 30 minutes from
Yeah,
That's very
the
true.
time that they finished, talking to their mom and
And
packing
it's
to when
part
they
of the
get
world
there.
building, really.
Yeah.
World building in the first, like, the honestly, with fantasy books, most of it you gotta treat like it's just a world building
That's true.
activity.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think we can kind of move on to where they get there and they're in line and they
Because we're
see
gonna
all
talk
these
about it
people.
no matter what, anyways. It's just
No, that's
not gonna
fine.
be with Violet
No,
and Mira.
that's fine. I just have a few world building things to point out.
Yeah, no. go ahead.
One is this, also another Wattpaddy line that Violet says about her hair. And she says, we don't have to talk about that much, but I just want to say, she says, you know very well the natural pigment seems to gradually abandon it no matter the length. And then she says,
You're talking about the silver in her hair?
yes,
She's pushing up her black framed glasses
My
that have
eye-
the tape
yes.
around the middle because she broke
my
it.
eyes are just as indecisive.
It's
a
a
light
YN
hazel of
moment.
varying blues and embers that never seems to favor either actual color. Quote, besides, other than everyone else's concern for the shade, my hair is the only thing about me that's perfectly healthy. Cutting it would feel like I'm punishing my body for finally doing something well, and it's not like I feel the need to hide who I am. And I said, odd hill to die on, but okay. Moving on, she calls...
So honestly, I kind of get
YN
that.
moment.
Some people do have a very strong love for their hair. Like
This is
that's
very
the
true.
one thing.
That's true. I should just left us a note that says, I love making fun of the
You
Wattpaddedness
missed a
of it.
T, best friend-in-law.
That's okay.
Second, Mira, referring to the Dragon Riders, calls them pretentious, egotistical fucks.
I love her language. It's me.
Yeah, this is true.
I
Yes.
can't go with
This
two
is very
words
valid.
without
Yes.
cussing.
Yes, so
Honestly,
I just...
same, though.
Hopefully
I
Spotify
have to
doesn't
start,
demonetize
I have to start
us.
telling my coworkers, I'm sorry. I just have a
I get
potty mouth.
scared when I'm
Yes.
calling my patients that I'm cussing with them on the phone.
And I just find that interesting because she doesn't like them or, want to be one of them.
I think it's because she's already gone through that year period where they're
Mhm.
trying to, stay alive. That
Mhm.
she's like, these fuckers are messed up,
Mhm.
okay?
That's true. finally, Mira says, find Dane Atos. That's the first time we hear about
Spotify doesn't
Dane.
give a flying fuck.
So,
Thanks, producer.
Oh yeah, when she said,
yeah,
when you get there, find Dane.
Find Dane Atos.
Dane, yeah.
I was like, that's not the one she'll end up with. I was like,
I
know
really sat
that won't
there
be him.
and I was like,
Stay
Dane's
away
gonna-
from this one
I
and
don't
go to
even
this
know
one.
the character yet, but I already know that he's not going to be the character that I like her with. I was like,
Right.
I already can feel it. I told Greta, because we were on the phone, and I said, I really don't feel like I'm going to like this character.
Yeah.
I felt so validated because I don't like this character. I hate him, actually.
I think he
He's
has
an
good
asshole.
intentions, but
He's got selfish intentions, and it works for him, and he's using that because he thinks it'll work for
I don't
her.
know if it's selfish.
I think it's selfish.
He has so little faith in our main character
Right.
that it's only going to drag her back, and I feel like he's going to be selfish and not let her spread her wings like she should, like she wants
Absolutely.
to. And
yeah.
that's the selfish part
Yeah.
I can understand.
And
Yeah.
what I think, it's going to be a huge thing that builds up to later. Like, we're going to see some huge, like, tension between them, and it's going to affect the overall story. It's going to affect her story with the other love interest. And I already have a scenario.
I know.
So
I have a
sad.
scenario too.
I'm
and
so
I'm sure if it's the
scenario.
same one.
I'm so
We'll
sad.
talk about it when we get to it. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
We need to hurry up.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm
we'll get
gnawing
I'm
at the
so
bars of
sad.
my iron
Neither of you
enclosure.
have gotten as far as I am because holy shit. The things I know that I have to be quiet about are crazy.
there. Yeah, you
here.
shut up.
I want to put a sock
So-
in your mouth.
This is why you're not supposed to read past
I
chapter
haven't
10.
said shit.
I'm
Okay.
gonna tell
I
you-
haven't said
Okay.
anything. I'm
I
not
wanna
going
put
to
some
say
dirt in
anything,
your
but
eye.
when y'all get there, you'll know.
Next, okay, this is an important world building tidbit because this is going to be important for a point that I'm going to make later. So
Fair
just
enough.
listen to
This
what
is
I'm
fair.
about to read.
This is fair.
Listen to this important detail because
I'm listening.
it's important.
Okay.
So she says, she's talking about how Navarre works. She says, each of Navarre's 6 provinces has sent this year's share of candidates for military service. Some volunteer, some are sentenced as punishment, most are conscripted. The only thing we have in common here at Bagsieth is that we passed the entrance exam, both written and an agility test. I still cannot believe I passed, which means at least we won't end up as a fodder for the infantry on the front line.
What chapter are we on?
This is still chapter 1.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Yeah, it goes pretty far.
So
Chapter 1 was the
I
longest
took this to mean most writers are unwilling and or lawbreakers, not a lot of valor in the people that go
I can see that.
to the writers' closet.
No,
Repeat
I
what
can
you
definitely
just
see
said.
that.
I was zoning out.
So she says some volunteers, some are sentenced as punishment, most are conscripted, referring to the people who try to become writers. And I took that to mean most writers are unwilling and or are lawbreakers. There's not a lot of valor.
Yeah, okay,
in
yeah,
the
no, I
writers'
get that.
quadrant.
Honestly,
We learned that later on, too.
I think it's
that
because-
that's really the case.
I don't know if, like the government is controlling the college or if the college is, like, a subsidiary of the government, but I just think they don't care. They just need another body.
Yeah, and I think that's fair too.
So they go, if we're gonna, if we need cannon fodder, why not get the worst of what we think is like the worst of our society and throw them in there because they're gonna die.
And that's fair.
It's cheaper than just killing them outright. At least make them
Yeah.
work for us.
Right,
True.
right.
All right. The parapet. So she walks up. By the time I was at the end of the chapter, I was so sick of the word parapet. I was like, I've never heard this word before.
I read this whole
I don't know
thing,
why we're
and
saying
I can
it.
never remember the actual terms
Honestly,
for it because it just
When I read this book
Unphases.
and they're like, and she's like over detailing where she is, I just go, do I really need to know this? And
I was
then
like-
I go,
Oh my gosh, I was like,
I
Violet,
really needed
shut
to know-
up.
eh.
I was like, Violet, please be quiet.
like inner monologue. Stop,
Yes.
please.
I just picture
yeah.
her and everybody else just like in a room, and then anytime like it's just different characters, they just go to a different room down the hall.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They
So
say
true.
rotunda, and I'm like, okay.
So I will abbreviate the names of characters. I just want you to know now because
Every time you
won't
mention
say,
Vi, I think of Violet from Arcane, and it gives
See,
me trauma
I won't
flashbacks.
say the whole name. I like to abbreviate it because sometimes they're just long that I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me go with the abbreviated term.
Dane is no longer Dane, it's Da.
Da.
Zayden is Zay. Mira is Mir. She's just taking out the
No,
A. She hates
I mean
them.
like when we get to the characters like
Rhiannon.
Rhiannon.
Oh, Rhiannon.
I call her Rhi.
Oh,
Just
I
because
like saying
Rhiannon is a
Rhiannon.
little long for me. I'm just like Rhi.
I like Rhiannon because of I like Fleetwood Mac.
That's fine.
We should make that
Anyway,
our
I
intro song.
digress.
That's
I
fine.
digress.
So,
Rhiannon's
Mira
supremacy.
gives Violet a lot of tips about how to do the parapet.
Correct. Yeah.
And they were good tips.
And then there are some separatist kids here.
Correct. Yes, we love.
There-
where
I
this is
love
going.
them.
Their parents
To be
are
honest,
very
I
upset.
can't be upset with them.
No, I don't
No.
blame them at all.
And as we get further into the book, I can kind of understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, they didn't want to be
Like
there.
when they start the book, it's kind of like, oh, their parents were bad, and now they're following in their footsteps. No, it's much deeper than
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
What gets me is the way that Violet narrates this, because this is all like her feelings and her perspective. So we're not getting a true perspective of what like they really are as people.
Right.
We're getting what she thinks of them first.
I'm sure
So
that'll
she
be.
thinks of them as other when we start out, to be honest, and that's basically because of how she was raised.
I'm sure it'll be like continued on in the later books that we'll get to see more of them and more of.
I think
kind of
we're
what
going to
their
see a
character
perspective
is.
change, and honestly, we're going to see it sooner than later because of
Correct. Yeah.
certain characters that we haven't named yet.
I think that's very true.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be a voice for them, and it's kind of going to be like a little bit of a white savior moment, but it's a necessary white savior moment.
Right. Right.
Fair.
White knight for the
So,
other kids.
Huzzah.
right. So, the kids have been marked
Oh, my book has
by
no notes.
General Melgren's dragon.
Correct. Yeah.
Mira says, Mom says General Melgren's dragon did it to all of them when he executed their parents, but she wasn't exactly open to further discussion on the topic. Nothing like punishing the kids to deter more parents from committing treason. So, the
It's a double-edged
separatist
sword.
parents were
Yeah.
executed, and the children were marked.
It's a double-edged sword because you don't want the kids to take up and do what their parents couldn't finish,
Right.
but you also don't want other parents to see the injustice and be like, yeah, we need to do that, because their first thought is going to be, what's going to happen to my kids
Right.
if I do this now?
That's
And then
true.
the kids are like, oh god, if my parents do that, look at what's going to happen to me.
But a shared
does-
symbol, you can find your community easily.
It does give a really good insight into future chapters, though, like that specific portion, because it later on in the book there are certain aspects where it's like, okay, this makes sense, like, and I don't want to go too far because I don't know if that's within the
10 chapters.
10 chapters that we're currently talking
Yeah,
about.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna be very vague.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stop it there because I'm like, it does get further into it, and it really does show, like, the character building, and seeing how Violet kind of takes that information
I think I know what you're talking about, though. So
You
I think that's
probably do.
within 8 and 9. Where did you get to chapter 10?
Here,
I
can
did get
actually-
to chapter 10.
I can
Yeah, you
actually
did.
look
You said-
at
you
my
said
notes.
so.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I can look at my notes and kind of see.
So you actually, and I just wrote down what I thought.
No, because I
had
actually, there
feelings.
were certain parts where I was like, oh, yeah.
So, let's see here. I want to point out, because I think we can get to this point, there's so much being compartmentalized by the college. Like, where are we? Can we get to
We're
the point
about-
where they're
we're
in her
about to
first
get
class?
Oh, okay,
Ooh.
yes. Okay, chapter 7 is where it does happen, so it is within the
The parameters here.
the
Okay,
parameters.
let's talk about
so
it then,
when we get
When we get there,
yeah,
we'll go
I will
into it.
expand further on it, because that is like a really good foreshadowing, is like showing that they all have the same mark,
Mm-hmm.
which does make it easier for them to realize,
Who they can trust.
Like, find their
correct,
people.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So it
It's
does
a double-edged
expand further
sword.
on.
Just
Yeah.
like you said, it's a double-edged sword for sure. Mira tells her, while they're talking about the marked rebellion kids, her voice drops, and I leaned in, my heart jumping at the urgency in her tone.
I loved this part.
Quote, stay the hell away from Xaden Ryerson.
I'm not gonna lie, when I heard
So
that,
we
I was
have
like,
to
okay,
know
no,
who he is.
Okay, when I heard that, I was like, we all know already he's gonna be hot.
Like,
it,
he has-
there's
he's
off
going
the
to
bat,
be
if
hot.
you
He's gonna be
say
hot.
stay
He's gonna
away,
be- don't
That-
say it yet. Don't say it yet.
that
Don't say
is
it
wet
yet. Don't
pad
say it
coded
yet.
right there.
It is what
Oh, I wasn't gonna say that.
Okay.
No. What I have that underlined his name, and I said,
Uh-oh.
dot.
Dot,
Uh-oh.
I think we all knew, because I said in here, in my notes, I was like, we all know Xaden is hot. Based off
Yeah,
of that one
Xaden
line, we
is
all
hot.
know he's gonna be the
He is
one
hot.
that, you know, you're like,
Yeah.
that's who I want, but I can't have.
Yeah.
The forbidden fruit.
Yeah, it's
And
always...
quite sexy forbidden fruit, might I add.
I, like, slapped my knee so hard when I got to that part. I was like, yes.
It's like, that's the one.
She was
like, that's
slapping
it.
her knee.
The air rushes from my lungs. That
Same.
name. ... That Xaden Ryerson, she confirms, fear lacing her gaze. He's a third year, and he will kill you the second he finds out who you are.
And then we
Which-
get to the next page where she's once again glazing Dane, going, yeah, we need to go to Dane. And I get it, you know, we've known Dane our whole lives, but
He's
Yeah,
the childhood
because
friend.
The
he's
one thing that we
the-
skipped was, like, she so gushes over him
Oh, yeah,
a little
for sure.
bit.
she's definitely got like an old...
She's got a thing
She's
for
got
him.
an old childhood crush. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always that one guy that you grew up with who was like,
Yeah.
it might have happened, but it didn't.
And not
Very
only is Xaden Ryerson bad news because he's Xaden Ryerson, but also
He's
his
the baddest
father.
boy in school.
His father was the great betrayer.
He's the one that was leading the
He
rebellion.
led the rebellion.
Which, can we...
Which
kind
was
of,
actually kind of crazy. I was like,
but
honestly, kind of expected that, though.
no, but can we unpack the fact that technically his dad did kill her brother?
It's... I don't know if you got there, but it is mentioned later in the book.
It is.
Yeah.
It is mentioned. I've forgotten also to chapter 10.
Yeah.
Because remember where I wrote that note about Xaden
Yeah.
that we will not mention because there are other good people listening to my voice and I don't want that tracked back to me. On a recorded line, I should say.
No, it does for sure get mentioned, and it's actually kind of crazy because as we continue in chapter 1, there's a very specific line that I wrote down because I was like, ooh, love that.
She said
So-
sarcastically.
No, not sarcastically. Thank you. I really did. I was like, that's awesome. Love that. So let's continue.
We live a
So-
complicated relationship.
So they also talk about how the rebellion kids were conscripted with the purpose of them dying.
Correct.
That is
Yeah.
why
It was
they
a roundabout
had
way
them,
to kill them.
Like
It's
they
a
were
death
trying to
sentence.
kill them. And Xaden did not die. And they say that once he bonded with his dragon, there really wasn't much that could be done.
Right.
So they attempted to kill Xaden. And they attempted to kill all of the children from the rebellion by having them do the dragons.
Right.
So, next, they call Violet Sorrengail. Captain Fitzgibbons is devastated because she had so much promise.
Yeah, as a scribe.
Mira, not only... We find out that Mira's a war hero.
Yeah.
Love that for her.
She's famous.
A baddie.
And...
Isn't she famous because, like, we know that she's famous because someone was like, oh, you're Mira's sister, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's
And then
famous.
when it's
like,
like
she's
some of her
hot.
old battles.
It's
Like,
not
yeah.
only...
As-
she's not only... and that's funny, too, because it's not General Sorrengail's daughter. It's Mira's sister.
Correct.
Here they say it right here. They give you the order of the talent for taking out that battery behind enemy lines. I feel like the order of the talent is just maybe like the equivalent of a Purple Heart,
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's probably something like that.
something along
Very
those
similar,
lines,
yeah.
or something high up in that.
I'm sure
area.
if her brother was still alive, he would also have
Well,
one.
you can get Purple Hearts postpartum, so maybe he's got the actual
He
equivalent to
could.
that, and then she's got something that's like high, like next in line to it,
Right.
Yeah.
something like that.
But I'm pretty sure that conversation happens, I thought, as they were climbing, but I may be wrong.
Well, it couldn't be as they're climbing because he
It
was
happens
talking to Mira
with
directly,
multiple
so it's
people.
Just
Oh,
before.
talking-
So,
Mira directly,
Fitzgibbons recognizes Mira first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, in front of the other people, Mira's like, this is my sister.
Yeah.
Like,
She's
to
already
be
like
take care of her. Which I also thought
Like,
was
look out
funny
for her.
because not too long before, Mira's
them know
like,
you're
don't let
Sorrengail."
anyone know who you are. And then it's like, this is my Sorrengail sister.
Yeah.
Did you know that she's a
She's
Sorrengail?
She's a Sorrengail.
Hey, did you know who her
expresses
mom
it
is?
to the
She's
world.
General Sorrengail girl. This is her youngest daughter right here.
And I am also a Sorengale. She is related
So,
to all of us
The
Sorengales.
crazy thing is they tell them,
Blood related.
don't say XYZ, but when you give your name, you have to give your full name. So it's like you're telling them anyways. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point? They're gonna find out anyways.
Yeah.
I think she just didn't double check her notes when
Yeah.
she wrote the
Probably not.
Things get slipped
Maybe.
past the publishing cracks.
Yeah, I made it through. And so they're talking, they go up to the parapet, people ask a lot of Sorengale, the Sorengale general, the one, blah blah blah.
Okay,
She
can
kind
we,
of gets tired of it.
The amount of
right?
soaring, like, take a shot every time they say Sorengale.
We'd
Right,
be drunk.
yeah.
Liver failure.
And then I put a star and I put immediately talks to the traitor children that hate her mom probably.
Yeah.
And then we have a woman that she's walking up with that we figure out is Rhiannon.
Love
but
of my
I
life. I would die for
Love
her.
her, but I did not trust her at the beginning. Because
Of course
I
you
took
did.
this as a veiled threat. I wonder how many candidates have fallen off the edge of the steps and died before they even reached the parapet. And I was like,
Parapet mention.
in my head, I'm like, you gonna kill me? But
I think
It's like one of those things where you like you know the TikTok pranks where people bring in their like family members or like their boyfriends out to the woods and like nobody would hear you scream and it's like what? It's like I really want some ice cream.
yeah,
it's like-
Stuff
it
like
was
that
like
where
that,
it's like you're
yeah.
planting that
like
seed.
kind of trying to intimidate, but like not really going
gaslighting
through with
out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But Rhiannon's not pranking her. She's just
She's just like trying. I think she's trying to deter the fact that she herself is nervous.
I think that's what it is, but I think she's also just maybe got a little bit of that morbid in
Yeah,
her.
that as well.
I mean, she this is the one that was raised, and she like from the moment she was young, she knew she wanted to be a writer. So I think she's just like a little bit of a nerd about these facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's just excited because she's like, oh, like all these people died, but I'm gonna be the one to get across.
Right.
Like I'm here to prove myself.
Right.
Yeah.
But then she's also the one wearing no souls going across
Correct.
wet rock.
So true.
You would think you would do your research about what kind of rocks you're going to be walking across.
Which, oh my gosh.
I mean,
Wet ones.
After we meet Ree, right? It continues on, and then we meet
Dylan.
I have here I
Before we
viscerally started like crying.
I was before we get into the sadness of it, can we also point out the names here? We've got such pretty names like Violet and Mira and Rhiannon, and then there's Dylan. Like
Listen.
Dylan is the guy that you go to a frat party at.
Yeah.
Like he's the one handing you a drink. Dylan.
And that's why he's engaged before this whole.
That's why he
not even
dies.
engaged. He's promised to propose to his girlfriend.
He's got the ring.
He has the ring. It's around his neck. They're climbing up.
I knew
He
was
says
gonna
he
die there.
also says
I was so sad.
Right here.
Dylan is pumped, by the way. Dylan says, quote, I feel like I've been waiting my entire life for this day. Can you believe we actually get to do this? It's a dream come true.
Right here, he goes, I'm not dying. I underlined that, and right under it said, he's dying. Frowny face. I knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
Quite literally, when they started climbing up, I was like, okay, we can't have two best friends right off the bat. One of them's gonna fall.
Yeah.
Rhiannon, when Violet noticed her shoes
Mhm.
and they swapped one shoe, I was like, okay, this is good. Like, this shows the trust building. This shows that it's gonna be like some sort of a friendship. I quite literally wrote down, I hope her and Rhea are really like have
Close.
that companionship. And then I started hearing Dylan talk, and I was like, no!
Like, why
She's
are
at
you
the third
saying
foot.
these things?
Why?
These are the things that dead men say.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he didn't fall off until they literally were at the top,
Yeah.
and he slipped. I wrote down in my notes, I said, Dylan had so much to live for. I'm sad the author killed him off early in the stupidest way.
But it's
It was
important to do that.
It was to show us. It was like no one's safe.
Yeah,
It was.
that was your
And
first
I
reminder.
applaud her for
honestly.
showing us that. It made me so sad, because I was like, Dylan was so ready.
I feel like
Yeah.
this is gonna
To
be an inside joke for other
propose.
fourth ring readers. Like it's just like one of those things like rest in peace.
Dylan.
This is gonna be dead like Dylan.
Dead like Dylan.
I got so sad. I was like,
I do have a note here from when they did switch shoes. Like, it was like in this nice little pocket, I go, she's got honor!
Honor!
And I drew a little face. You can see the face that I drew.
No, I know the face. Yeah, I
She's
knew it
got
was that
honor!
face. Oh my god, stop.
I was glad that Violet did the right thing and helped her out. I was worried that it was gonna betray, like
in everybody for themselves.
like
type
in
deal.
everybody for themselves, but I was glad that it didn't.
And I think that's also an important part of her character.
Correct.
Like, other people
would shut the
Jack,
other off. Yeah.
Other people would be like, "Oh, damn, that sucks for you," and then they would just watch
continue, yeah.
because now, me personally, be like, "Damn, that's tough."
Oh my god.
I'm trying to live.
That's fair.
Wait, with the shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I would not give this bitch one of my shoes.
Well, so the fact that they switched while they're climbing
I wouldn't
is
switch
crazy
shoes,
to me.
but
Yeah.
I would maybe do something to help her. Like, okay, your shoes don't have grip, but maybe we can find something to wrap around your shoe that does have grip.
Same.
Like
Like,
maybe
I would
if
not
there's, like,
have
a loose
given
piece
her
of
my
fabric,
shoe.
if there's a loose
Because
piece
also,
of fabric,
if she
that would have
falls,
some
you're
grip.
not getting that back.
No.
And it decreases the effectiveness of the shoes by 50%.
Correct, yeah.
So,
Kind of bonkers.
I would not take that risk.
I don't think I
But-
would have given her my shoe, but I would definitely like wrapped it in something with some actual grip to it. That way she can make it across and she's not, dying.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
So-
unfortunate.
I have two things that I want to point out. One, when they're climbing, I underlined the sniggering candidate behind me catches up, sweating and red. Look who isn't sniggering now. And
Oh, yeah.
I
that
would like to
person.
point out, Violet is carrying on a conversation
Right?
while she's doing this treacherous climb.
Well, so if we're talking about she's mentally strong and or physically because she can carry on that conversation, also think about how she had to hold by one hand to get a shoe on, a shoe off, tie it, lace it, She's insane already.
That's what I said. I put down Violet is more fit than she leads us to believe.
correct.
I think she's underplaying herself, but also as someone who hasn't been fit the entire time, you don't realize that you're fit until after the fact.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
true.
I remember this conversation that I had with you after I saw a movie with Ken. I remember,
Yeah.
running. We were like running out of the rain to get to the theater. We get to the theater. He's out of breath. I'm like, fine.
You're like,
But I
hey.
had been on a Stairmaster for 4 months straight.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that my stamina and my endurance had gotten better until I'm standing next to him in wet Crocs and he's in sneakers and and I'm like, what the fuck? Because physically he looks more fit than me.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
And, he's on his feet a lot more because of his job. He's still working at the Waffle Dungeon for $8 an hour. But he's over here dying and I'm like, this is light work.
Yeah.
This is nothing to me.
And there you go. Like,
and I didn't realize it until I had that conversation with you that night.
And it could be that.
She just doesn't realize
She
her own
doesn't
strength
realize
yet.
her strength yet. Yeah.
Right. And that's true. Now, the other thing that I want
Also,
to point
she was on
out,
stairs.
the shoe thing. I wrote down, this whole thing with the shoes shows us Violet is the type of person to help a stranger. But she doesn't give both boots, just one. She doesn't want to die, but will put herself at risk. To
She
save
has a
another person.
semi-sense of self-preservation.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unlike some book characters
I think
in
she
the
has more of like what's she doesn't blindly trust, so rather than giving both, like a blindly trusting person probably would when wanting to help someone else, she also understands like, oh, this person could backstab me.
Mhm.
As her sister was saying, like, don't trust anyone, like you can't fully know everyone. I think it kind of shows that stuck with her, but also that she's like not as trusting as people believe her to be. Like she understands the point of yeah, I can help you, but I'm also going to help myself. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just help you, you're gonna have to do half the work and I'll do half the work.
Right. Like, she's not self-sacrificing.
Correct, yeah.
But she will help other people if
Correct.
she can. She will put herself at risk, but she won't completely sacrifice herself. She's not going to make it so that, like, she's not going to make it so that someone else has a better chance than she does. At least not a stranger.
Right.
So, the other thing...
Honestly, just zoning
Oh, I figured. I don't know.
The other thing is,
Watered
I think
around.
it's interesting because Rhiannon has showed up, in Violet's eyes, Rhiannon has showed up better prepared for this than Violet, and Violet still gives her one shoe.
Correct, right?
Right. And they don't trade the shows while they're climbing. It's before.
Just before.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Still.
You know, it wouldn't make sense because she was fighting the
Think
wind
about
and the
how
rain.
cool that would be, though.
It would be cool.
Well, it hadn't started.
It has not started.
It has not
yet.
started raining yet.
No.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because I thought about that. Because I was like, no, it starts raining like when they get, if I'm not mistaken, up to the top. Because that's what causes Dylan to slip.
Yeah, no, and Dylan's still alive. I just saw another quote from him going, "See you guys on the other side."
Yeah.
No, you won't.
That was so depressing. I
That was
almost
so
cried my
depressing.
eyeballs out.
So,
I knew that he was gonna die. Like, you don't say, "See you on the other side." That's like in horror movies going, "I'll be back." No, you're not.
I think
You're gonna go die in the basement now.
I think we can move a little bit on.
Yeah,
Past
we
the
can get
point
into
of his
chapter
death.
2 now because
hold
that's
up, wait,
this
no,
is-
wait, no, we
because
can't.
there is a
Because
specific.
she sees Zayden.
Correct.
This is true. She
So-
does.
She meets
let's-
Zayden in chapter
okay.
1. There's a specific portion
there is-
of that
Oh,
I
there
really
is.
Oh, this
liked.
I've
is the
got
most
something in a-
exquisite man I've ever seen.
Yes,
I
I
knew she
put
was
that in
done
a box.
when I heard
She's
that.
cooked. She's done.
He's
But
the most exquisite man I've ever
They
seen.
end up talking, and one of their banters is about
Banta.
blaming the other person's family for killing their own.
They
And
never-
that's
Yes.
what got me. I was like, his whole thing was, oh, well, your mom killed my dad, so obviously I want to kill you. But she was
Yeah,
like,
your
oh,
dad
well,
killed my brother.
Your dad killed my brother, so I could say the same. Like, it was really a big, like, oh, shit. Both
I
of
think
them
that's
lost
when he started to
something.
like her.
Yeah.
Because he, later on, he mentions, like, he likes a strong woman, which, but, like,
Yeah.
it's clear, like, he doesn't like a soft-spoken woman. He likes someone with a bit of, like, a bite to her. He doesn't
Right.
he doesn't like a soft personality.
Right. Well, let's talk about what he looks like. So,
Oh, I can talk about this for. I can talk about this for the rest of the night.
he's tall, with wind-blown black hair and dark brows. The line of his jaw is strong and covered by warm, tawny skin and dark stubble, and when he folds his arms across his torso, the muscles in his chest and arms ripple, moving in a way that makes me swallow.
Somebody get a
In
mop for
his
this girl.
eyes... Shut the fuck up. In his eyes... His eyes are the shade of gold-flecked onyx. The contrast is startling, jaw-dropping even. Everything about him is. His features are so harsh that they look carved, and yet they're astonishingly perfect. Like an artist worked a lifetime sculpting him, and at least a year of that was spent on his mouth. He's the most exquisite man I've ever seen.
Not only do we need a mop for Violet, we need a
And
mop for
then-
the author.
And after
For the reader.
And
Oh,
after
Wesley,
all
I'm
that,
dripping.
after all of that, after all of that is when she hears someone else call him Ryerson.
She throws
That
it all out the
that's
window.
where she
after
doesn't really.
that,
Damn
she
it.
hears it's Zayden Ryerson.
Literally, the thought process there was, damn it.
I
Of course
underlined
he
his
would
name
be.
and went, knew it.
He is marked with a rebellion relic.
Oh my god.
Then they have their banter. He says, "Your mother captured my father and oversaw his execution."
This was what I was talking about.
That's a
Violet
skill
gets
issue,
mad.
buddy.
This particular line out of that whole chapter is, I was like, okay, setting us up.
Violet gets mad, says, "Wait, like he is the only one. He is the only. Wait, like he has the only right to hatred here. Rage courses through my veins. Your father killed my older brother. Seems like we're even."
His audacity to say hardly after that is crazy.
Literally,
though.
I wrote that down in my notes and said, love the blaming of the family members dying because
Yes.
of others.
Also, I would like to point out, Mira said he will kill you the second he finds out who you are. And he did not kill her.
No, I was
She
like,
is still
oh, shit.
breathing.
I was like,
Thank
oh,
you.
shit.
Yep.
This is when I knew that he liked her because honestly,
Bro, if I hated you that much, I would have killed you on the spot.
exactly.
Yes.
Without
He's not going to get in
no
trouble.
words, no nothing.
They
Yeah.
can't touch him anymore because of his dragon.
He gets ready. She gets ready for him to come at her. And then Rhiannon walks up. They say that they're friends. Well, he asks if they're friends. She says that they met on the stairs. He looks down, noticing our mismatched shoes, and arches a brow. His hands relax. Interesting, is what he says. He says, interesting.
That already, she sets it up so nice to be a slow burn romance. Love it.
Yes,
Love
very
every
much
second.
so.
I'm such a slow burn romance person because
We know.
when you get to that, it's like the same with any Asian drama that you watch that's a romance.
Yep.
It takes
makes it
them
sweeter.
10 episodes just to hold hands.
It takes 10 episodes just to look each other in
And
the
I'm
eye.
like, oh my god.
They
They're
got you
finally
sweating.
doing it.
And that is when Dylan slips. End chapter 1.
Dylan, I will never get over Dylan.
You don't want to know what he slipped on?
Girl, stop while you're
You
ahead.
shut up! You shut up! You be quiet, you horrible. You're bad. You're very bad. You stop that.
Keep going.
Stop while you're ahead. Okay, just stop.
That was the first chapter of The Fourth Wing from Unstable Narrators podcast, a part of Hyperactivity podcast group.